right, it's good. Now let me make it public so everybody can share it.
Copy.
It took forever,
What
right?
was wrong? Was it the connection?
No,
Yeah.
I think I had my headphone. I had my headphones plugged into this audio interface. I had to plug them into my computer.
Oh, okay. I thought it was me.
Nah, that's probably. You probably could have stayed where you was at.
Shit,
Oh yeah.
shit, I'll probably go back in there. Good. We still good though.
Who you got at the gym with you now?
Uh, Dejour, Bruce, my boy X, JP, Kwani Roland,
You got the whole crew in
Mir.
there. You got the whole crew in
Yeah, pretty
there.
much. Yeah, just about. Little Bruce right here.
My boy grounded from his cell phone. My boy been grounded from his cell phone for about 2-3 weeks.
As a fact.
My boy ain't got no phone. He ain't got nothing. He lost.
Man, working. We got Kwani in here too. She's about to, man, how you flip the camera? Huh? And she the back of the shirt too.
Yeah, I gotta come get that. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be out there. I might be out there tomorrow.
All right, just let me
You
know.
gotta.
'Cause
Yeah, I
I
gotta
gotta
get
go to
that.
Utica Saturday.
That's where you going to train at?
That, yeah, the Mud May Lions, they want me to train their football team. So I go out to Utica Saturday. Yeah, I think next week might go to Auburn.
I gotta hit Uwe too. Uwe called me earlier when I got out of work. I forgot to hit him back. So this what you this what. Let's take it back. What Fast Lane? What made you make the name Fast Lane? Yeah, you probably ain't got no service in the church.
Think of like being my own lane. Yeah, you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you.
You hear me good? All right, so
Yeah, I
yeah,
got you.
when I came up with the name, it was basically like just based off of stuff that I like. So like going fast, like being in my own lane, and then like anything I do, I want to be the best at it. So you got to perform at a high level. So I just kind of
Hell
put the
yeah.
name together.
So what you
It was
when you started, when was it? 3 years ago or two?
honestly like almost like 4 years. It was probably right around like Jay Jordan freshman year of high school.
Okay, okay. What so COVID been a hassle to everybody, right?
Or like, the first half, like last year, was bad. Then like we found Hall, we started going there. And then they
I
started getting
remember.
crowded. It was over. We was at
Yeah.
higher. We used to go to higher a lot.
And then they took the rims
They
down,
took the
right?
rims down to higher. Yep, killed everything.
What so how many consistent guys you got coming with you every day?
Um,
Does it switch every day?
Probably like eight,
Oh, so
eight
you
to
busy,
10.
busy.
Yeah, so like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I do double sessions with the basketball. So we go to Planet Fitness and lift, and then we come straight to the church. So we lift around 6:15. Come here around like 7:30. We be here till almost like 9:10.
So, yeah, so that's a long day. You damn sure putting in work.
Yeah. Then Tuesday, Thursdays, I do regular lift. So any little kids that want to work out or anyone that's like non-athletic or even some of my athletes, then I'll lift Tuesday, Thursday, and then I do stuff on the weekends as well. Cause I like right now I'm doing part-time work. I do a little like delivery driving at Domino's, and then I go do my training. So I'm working 5 days a week, training 7.
Ain't no wrong with that.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's take it back for everybody that don't know you. We're a Corcoran grad, right?
Yes, sir.
What year you graduated?
2015.
See, you youngin, man. I got some years on you. What and then you played basketball and football too for Corcoran, right?
Yep.
What who was your coach back then?
For basketball, I had Coach Long, and then I had Tim Smith for varsity.
Yeah, I
And
remember
then for
Smith.
football, I had Seth Stevens, and then I had Tyrone Fisher.
So Fish, oh, they've been around for a little while then.
Yeah, and Fish went to the same college as me as well, so we got that same background.
What so you chose actually, so let's go back. What yeah, when did you win any sectional titles or anything when you were in high school?
Nah, not even. And it's the crazy part too. So my first couple years of high school, we weren't really that good for football or basketball. And then my senior year, we were really good. I think we were 6-0, but I ended up dislocating my elbow the third game of my senior year. So I missed the whole year for football, and ended up playing basketball. We lost, I think, the second round of playoffs.
Damn, I ain't never know that.
So yeah,
And then so you
it was
chose
tough.
you graduated and chose football, right? And then that's you chose Ithaca.
Yep,
What
it was crazy. I didn't think I was gonna get recruited.
nah. What
Nah, because I was supposed to go to the day I got hurt. I got hurt against West Jenny. That next morning, I was supposed to go to UB for a visit,
damn.
but I never got to make the visit because I was in the hospital.
Oh, that's crazy. So where what schools you had to choose between your senior year besides just Ithaca?
I was looking at Cornell. I was looking at St. John Fisher. I took a unofficial visit to Yale, but I didn't have the SAT requirement for that school. But let me see. I pretty much had every school in like the Empire 8 conference as far as D3,
So
and that was pretty much
you had
it.
some, you had some grades then for them schools.
Yeah, I was in the IB program at Corcoran,
So
so
you
that was
know,
the
so you was
priority.
working. I got you. What you got? Three older brothers? You the youngest?
Two older
Two older
brothers,
brothers?
two older sisters.
What
Yep,
up with your
youngest is
pops?
5.
What what up with your pops? He doing all right?
Yeah, he doing good. They in Florida right now.
Oh, they on vacay.
Yeah,
So what made you choose Ithaca coming out of high school?
honestly, my first scholarship offer was like from Utica, but it wasn't nothing crazy. And they offered like 17,000, but I still had to pay a lot for our tuition. Ithaca
Yeah.
gave me almost like 50 grand,
Damn,
so I wasn't paying that much for a semester. Probably like a couple $100 at that.
ain't nothing wrong with
So
that.
it was honestly with the school too. So Ithaca, I majored in physical education, so it was one of the best schools, either that or Portland. So I chose
Yeah.
Ithaca, and then honestly, it was just like the culture there, like everything felt like at home, and then it shifted fast. Like my freshman year there, it wasn't like diverse at all, but my sophomore junior year, it got way more diverse, and it was a little bit more fun, a little bit more comfortable too. It's like the culture in the campus started to change, and it's just like literally feel like a family.
So you did
And that's like the
three.
main thing I was looking for on visits.
Who's there? Some diversity around there.
Yeah, we
What
ended up because our coach too.
so your freshman year there? What you played D-back too, right?
Yeah, I played
What
both sides in high school, and then college just played defense.
what how was playing time your freshman year?
Freshman year, I ended up I almost I twisted. I had a high ankle sprain, so I was out for a while for my freshman year. So I ended up playing both varsity and JV. So that was that's the only benefit that I really like about D3, and I like advocate that to a lot of other kids is that if you don't make the varsity team, like it might feel bad to you, but it's not that bad. You can still play JV and get some reps and learn the system. And when I came
Mm.
up, there was a lot of guys in front of me too, and that's the thing that you have to understand too. Like sometimes you might have a kid that is faster than you or taller than you or bigger than you, and they're gonna roll with that. So I kind of came into a situation like that. We already had like a deep cornerback position, and in my sophomore
Mm.
year, we were losing again. So I ended up playing more my sophomore year, like special team wise, and then junior year we got new coaches. But when the new coaches came, they didn't have film on half of us, so and it started to get political. And then once, like for me too, like once I stopped, like once, yeah, bro. Once I lost the fun, it was like I actually like only thing that saved me was training. So once I lost fun playing, I found training, and it just like I was like, I'm just roll with this. So I didn't even play football my senior year. I just student taught home, and then got the training business going.
And did you graduate? You ended up graduating already?
Yep.
You finished? I remember you did. So you graduated, and then I'm gonna bring it back. Your dad, you and your dad. So your dad was a JV coach, right? When you graduated
Yeah.
from Ithaca.
Yep.
What then you guys were helping, or you helped them out too, right?
Yeah. So he was a JV coach. I want to say even before I graduated, so probably like my sophomore year, something like that. Sophomore junior year, and then he was varsity assistant coach.
Gotcha. And then so that was what 26, 2017, 2018.
Yeah. Yep. And I graduated
That's
in
when Corcoran.
2019.
That's when Corcoran turned it up.
Yep.
That's when they started to turn it up.
Yes, sir.
And then I know you had some drama over there, right? That was a bunch of political stuff too.
Yeah. That was weird. Super weird.
We ain't gonna touch on. I just remember that. I remember seeing them posts from you.
Yeah.
So and then after that, so you started 2018 or 2017. You started Fast Lane.
Actually started. So I've been training, like I said, since about 2016. But I came up
So
with Fastlane literally like I want to say I came up with this name last spring.
yeah, I remember you changed the logo and all that. So
Yep.
what do you think? No, let me ask you about this. What do you think is the issue with these kids nowadays, man? Is it just not hard work, or they just don't got the love for the game no more? Because after y'all,
Um.
probably after what, like 2015, 2014, it was a culture shift for these kids, man. I just
Yeah.
watched it. I remember.
I think a lot of it too is this like clicking up. So it's like for me, like I never like because I never felt the need to go here or there. Like you got teammates who halfway in and halfway out. Some of them
Yeah,
might have a bad upbringing, so they running around after practice, running the street, stuff like that, and then they playing, they athletic, they can play, but they don't know how to get out of the streets.
yeah,
So I ran into that a lot, and then now, so I play with a lot of people that are in jail now, and I think these kids now they're playing with people who want to get into that life, and they getting sucked in. So you know how it is. Like if that person missing school and they getting all the girls still, they come here and there. They got nice clothes on and like that too. Like so, I think a lot of these kids are like not I want to say like monkey see monkey do, but a lot of kids are being like heavily influenced from their
and they're getting younger and younger
and it
too. It's the
doesn't
younger ones want to run the
and social
streets,
media doesn't help either. I feel like that's the worst part.
and then it's the kids
Yep.
it's the
See, like me,
younger
like
ones that want to come up run the
I didn't have
streets.
a Facebook to my senior year of high school.
Pops wasn't playing
Yep,
that.
exactly.
ain't no ain't no wrong with that though. You went to
Nah.
high school and then you graduated college. That's how it should be. I just think a lot of kids don't want to work nowadays,
Yep.
man.
And then like
They
my
don't want to do
family,
nothing.
nah, we had to because we got a paving business. So like a lot of people always ask me like I'm training now. They're like, why don't you just go work with your dad? Like I can easily go work with my dad and my brother in the paving business, but I gotta love it. That's what
Yeah,
they want to do for the rest of their life. Like I like it, but I don't love it. Training,
ain't
I
no wrong
love
with that.
training.
That's what you meant to do.
So yes, sir.
So I guess what would you say is down more? Would you say basketball or football is down more in the area? Actually, let me see. Let me see. We'll go to the city schools because you know how the outskirts is. The city schools. Would you
Yeah.
say basketball is down more or football is down more as far as talent and ability on the teams for the city schools?
Mm, I would have to say basketball because football, you got more players.
Yeah,
That's why I tell people too, like football, like they get stuck on like if they're not the main person like getting the ball, like you can always play special teams. Like people get drafted for special teams.
hell yeah. How
Basketball,
long?
if you're not in the rotation for basketball, you ain't getting a scholarship offer. You ain't getting looked at. You just you're on the sideline cheering.
Yeah, you ain't
So
getting no looks.
I feel like you can go both ways because the main thing here, like me in high school, when I was in high school, I was lucky. I had said, and I had parents that were to go on these visits. A lot of these kids don't have that luxury, and then coaches aren't doing the same work to get them there. So like me, I didn't learn about recruiting and how to make a highlight tape to my junior year of high school. Film and give me some feedback on it, and that's how I like got into getting recruited. And once I learned that, they're like, "Oh, like cut your videotape down. Like we're only gonna watch so and so of it." I started learning how to cut film down. So then that's when DeJordan I got into high school, I really got into like
You
making
already
their
knew the
highlight
way.
tapes
Yeah,
because
you
they
already
don't
know what
want
it
to watch it.
was.
Right, they don't want to watch a 10-minute highlight tape.
Nah, no coach is gonna sit there and watch that. You probably got 4 minutes max.
Not even. So when I was in Ithaca, I used to go sit with my coaches and like, coach, like, how do you recruit? So they would show me like they pull up a kid, they got a whole board. They pull up his name, they go on his Twitter, his Facebook, his Instagram, whatever they could find. How is he off the field, off the court? How is he talking? Like how does he
Yeah.
carry himself? They see something they don't like, they're not gonna even tell you. They just go up to the board, erase your name off onto the next. So once I learned that, I
That's
would
all it is.
tell
I be
these
telling
kids
these
like,
kids
you can't be
nowadays.
having this on your Facebook.
Nah, all this
You gotta
SMD.
delete stuff. Like even with the NBA stars,
They get
look at
crucified
even
for
the
that.
pro stars. Like they dig up tweets. Yeah, they
Yep.
go dig up a tweet from 2011 when you was 15 years old.
For 10, 15 years
So
ago,
it's like you got to pay
people
attention.
save them screenshots get saved, boy.
hmm Then it depending
I
on
see
who
they
see
trying.
it and who don't like it, it hurts you.
Yeah, it's getting shared on the internet for sure. So what you plan? I know you got the training, but you plan on coaching still in the future?
Yeah, I would like to honestly, even if it's I would love to be a head coach, but I feel like based on like how stuff go with these kids, I wouldn't mind being a positional coach. Like right now, like, I work with a lot of cornerbacks. I played cornerback in college and high school, but like I know the game on both sides. And then like being that like the college game, I like to bring that stuff that I learned there because you're around high level thinking coaches. So I like to bring that type of
Yeah.
stuff to like here, because like the stuff I learned in college was crucial, way more than I learned in high school. Like I learned like that's why like right now I'm big on technique when I train. And in college they were technique everything. Like they don't care if you can run a 4.6, but if you can't move, you don't got good hips,
Cause you
you're not a
wasting
good
time.
cornerback. So stuff like I learned like stuff like that matter. That's when I like changed like my thinking on everything. And I'm like these coaches here like not even like in a bashing way, but it's like not a lot of this is taught. If you think about it, like
Yeah.
down south they do spring football. Their 7-on-7 is heavily watched.
All
Up
year,
here,
all year round,
we don't have
all
that.
year round.
We don't have that type of exposure.
I help out at I'm well, I'm assistant with him, but Sterling went out there too, and
Yeah.
you could tell Wagner what Wagner installed in him because boy he fresh off of techniques and drills just to get better.
Yep.
And Sterling an athlete like a motherfucker.
And he's out here hurt his knee.
Yeah, but I think this it's just these kids now they don't understand that even JUCO like you go to Erie are just a Division 1 bounce back kids that are waiting to go D1. You go
Yeah.
D3, you got a lot of kids around here go D3. They're gonna be on that bench sitting doing nothing. I be trying to tell kids, and then all the stuff going on now. It's time. JUCOs are gonna be packed. The next 2 years, JUCOs gonna be full.
Yeah, and it's bad for like a lot of the high school seniors now because
Yeah,
for the
man.
kids that's getting a free year eligibility, that means you just coming in
They
like a
all
red shirt.
come. They all coming back too.
Yeah, and I
I,
be
f-
telling
I
kids don't go because of the name. Like you'll
nah.
know on a visit if this is for me. Like I don't care if you go to Alabama. If you don't feel the vibe there, at Alabama, it's not for you. Just because it say Alabama, don't say I want to sign.
At all. I see JoJo just commented. What you call it? That boy's Mr. Utility on the football field. They got a ham last Saturday.
Yeah, that's my
he a
dog.
D he a D back though. If you ask me,
Yeah,
he a D
yep.
back. They had him at quarterback, receiver, running back, and then Corcoran got a monster. Who number 33 on Corcoran? I can't remember his name.
33.
Big boy, dark skin, stocky. The fullback. He played running back and fullback.
I gotta see him. I can't think of it right now. I definitely know what you're
JoJo
talking about.
JoJo told me his name. I can't remember it either. But this boy built. But
That's
yeah, I
good.
got to get his name too. He got to get with you. Isaiah is it, Isaiah? Is that what
Okay,
JoJo just commented? Isaiah or Isaiah?
I can't see
IZA.
the comments.
Yeah, I think I can only see him. It's IZAYA.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna
It's
have
got
to
to be
get with him.
Isaiah. Yeah, that boy is big, and he got some and he run low to the ground too, because he's stocky, short.
Yeah, that matters.
Um, did you get to watch? I mean, you watch a lot of live streams for basketball this year, right?
Yeah,
Who who coming up
I
besides
would definitely.
I see Amir.
Yep.
Amir trying to take her out to his brother. I didn't get to
Yeah.
watch. I mean, I didn't really watch. We had a little season at hand, but I didn't get to watch. I mean, I shared the live feeds, but I didn't get to watch a lot unless we were at the games. But I see Corcoran has
I
some youngins.
watched some of it, but some of them I didn't watch because some of it was just bad basketball, like
I know,
all
man.
around. So it's
It was
hard to
looking
watch that.
rough.
Yeah,
It was looking
that's
rough.
hard.
And then Henniger too, man. Henniger had a team.
Yeah.
And then Liverpool's young too. You got Bruce in that gym right now. Bruce and Bruce Andreo. Goggles coming back too, and they got another kid with a tall, skinny kid with a mohawk. I forgot his name.
Yeah, Bruce
Liverpool
in
be
here.
back too.
Bruce being here every. I would say at least 3-4 days a week. Same time we be on the other half court. Then he come on the other side with us. Get some ones in.
Yeah, Big
But
Bruce
yeah,
know to
definitely
keep
I would
him
say too. Like,
motivated.
yeah, it's not too many kids. I would say because like I said, I don't look at it like they just playing a high school. I look at who playing year round. Like even with like Amir, like even though he's with me, they've been training since last year. Like it's a constant grind. It's not just I'm playing during the season. I'm training during the season. It's training year round.
Yeah, that's the thing that
So
kids
next
don't.
step for him is getting some weight on him.
Who
And they're not in the
what
gym either. So
is working? Who Corcoran? What Corcoran have? They only had like one or two seniors too, right?
um, now they had a good amount for basketball. They had my boy Meatball, JoJo, Avion, and I think that's about it. But yeah,
So
they
three
had
or four,
a good group. Yeah, had a good little group.
and then I seen Fowler play too. That the Jaden Bradley kid is good too. He get buckets.
Yeah, he's tough. He came in the gym with us a couple times too. Just got a lot of kids too. It'd be a schedule thing.
His
So once
classes,
I be trying to fit their schedules to work out with training.
and then they about to go back to school 5 days a week too, right? April 14th.
Yeah. Yep.
That should make things a little easier. I mean, at least they get out at 2:50. I think some classes right now go to 3:40 at Nottingham. I know that. Some of them
Sheesh.
got late classes.
That's tough. I remember that like my freshman year, them 80-minute classes.
That's a long day, boy.
Or
What so who you think is probably Corcoran next year in the running, Liverpool, and then I didn't see. I don't
hopefully if
think
they can
I ain't
get
seen anybody else.
Corcoran will be good if they get people to play. If Corcoran gets some more kids to come out, like a couple kids that should have played, I didn't see play. Like especially height wise, a little like
That's
Avion was their
the tallest player.
biggest player, and that's not a good thing.
That's what I'm saying. These
Right, because
kids
then you're
ain't.
playing out of position, even though you ask. And that's the thing too. I feel like that's the biggest thing I think they need to change because a lot of coaches too, just based off of what they have as far as availability for players, kids are playing out of position. And when they go to college, even DeJour, for 4 years he played out of position.
Yeah,
So when you
that's
go to
true.
college, you play a natural position. It's kind of a little weird. Like you
You
only
got
play your
six
natural
three
position
kids.
in like AAU.
You got 6'3"
Right?
kids
It
playing
shouldn't be like
center
that.
around here, and that's a
They ain't
guard at
shooting
the
guard
next
in
level.
college. That's
Yep.
yeah. So it's bad. And like I
What
said,
about
and then it's like
what about the how about for football? Who you think on the rise?
um other than like the outskirts, I definitely see Corcoran. I see they're being better because I just know how Fish runs the program. So I would definitely say them coordinator in high school, Kevin. But as far other than that, I want to see Fowler on the rise because that field is beautiful. But I want to see them like do
That's in
something
a
because
perfect look. That's in a perfect location too, man.
right.
Anybody just
That's
stop
the
and
thing too with
watch.
football is just getting kids to come out. So that's if they can get kids to play, and even those kids who like I said might be half in, half out, and get them to buy in and just like, hey, you come here, I'll help you get to like another school and they'll guide you from there. I think they'll be good. I
I
think that's
think
the main thing that's messing up.
the COVID season, I feel like it should help because you going in the spring and then you going in the summer and then July, August football coming right back around the corner.
Right.
So kids that's playing right now for the COVID season, damn sure should come back around for regular season.
Yeah, that's why I tell a lot of kids like you gotta literally be ready to work because you don't know when the season comes. Or who would have expected this year? That's why I'm like you gotta get in the
No,
gym and work. And so many kids
I
was out of
counted.
shape.
I know. I seen it every day. I counted. I didn't think there was gonna be no season. And then Coach
Me
Wright
too.
called me for basketball. I said, "Oh, it's lit." And then they said football too. These kids, and then you got kids. You still got kids that are just being lazy, walking around,
Hmm.
not trying to work hard.
I
They regret
tell
it though.
kids all the
Yeah,
time. It don't hit you till that senior year and you lose. Everybody crying. That's when it hits you like, damn, I should
them
have did something.
4 years, them 4 years fly by. I be trying to tell them 4 years is gone.
I'm telling you, when I got hurt my senior year, I hate and we lost in the playoffs. I was tearing because it was like it hurt so bad and you can't do nothing about it.
Nah, it was just over with. People think 4 years. I mean, 4 years. 4 years is a long time, but if you ain't living in the moment every day, it's gonna go by fast. And
And in
then
college, go even faster.
yeah, I got friends I still talk to this day from school. That seems like it was yesterday, a couple years ago. And it's
Or
10 years, 9, 10 years ago. I was in college. So what?
that's what I tell people all the time.
It's gonna fly by. What? You been around any of the like the younger Pop Warner leagues in the last couple years?
Not really. Well, I did a camp for Westville. I want to say 2018 because I think Jamar Ballard he hit me up and
Yep.
I did a free camp for them. Like that was my first ever time ever doing a camp. It was probably like 50, 60 kids. So it was fun too.
Yeah,
But
he the
other than
man. He
that,
keep
nah,
it.
like I would love to help out with like Kirk and stuff, but I don't know what's going
Uh,
on.
yeah, Jamar the man too. He stay involved. And he don't give out
Yes,
no
sir.
false hope either. He keep it real all the time. You can tell by his posts. He always keep it real. And you see his son a monster at
And that's
CNS.
how it gotta be. Right.
Yeah, man.
Like I say,
Coaches just
people
promising
know
kids.
the real ones know what it is.
Yeah,
You can't do that.
you got
I wish
coaches.
that would stop a lot.
It ain't never gonna stop at all. Everybody want credit, but they ain't really doing nothing or giving all the false hope out.
Yeah, then you can also like so I ran into a thing in college where like you could be a hardest working kid on the team and they still don't play you.
Yeah,
And I tell kids all the time, like once you like high school, if a coach don't like you, you gonna feel it. But in college, if a coach don't like you, you might as well transfer because you not gonna get no type of time at all. People think like it's bad being a practice player. In college, you really gonna be like a practice dummy.
we got
Because for
60,
football, that's
60,
all you do.
60 kids out there. He ain't paying attention to you.
More
It's
than
that
bro,
first
I had 110 teammates.
it's that first and second offense and special teams is what they gonna be watching.
And then you gotta think too, like you got 40, 50 kids coming in every year. So if
What
you don't think somebody else want to play, you wrong.
Yeah, they gonna learn. They gonna learn the hard way. What So basically, it's just you with like a training day. Basically, you get into the gym and or you get into the like an actual gym in the morning, and then you said you go into the gym in the afternoon, evenings.
So I work at Domino's, right? So I be
Mm-hmm.
dropping off pizzas like during the day, and then I get off there around like 6, and I go straight from Domino's to Planet Fitness. And I go from Planet Fitness straight to the church.
So you having long days, and you
So I'm
having
getting
12, 14 hour days, anyways, every day.
yeah. I was talking to my dad. I'm like, I pretty much pay rent to sleep because I'm never home.
I hear
So
that.
like I'm getting home. I'm getting home around 11 o'clock every day. But it's like I'm really trying to like grow as a trainer and just like grow this business and like show kids like I really want to help. Like, and I try to tell kids all the time like, cause say you tell them like, oh, I want to train. And you're like, oh, I charge this. Like I don't charge nothing crazy. And even if you can't pay, so like my training session price is $30 per session. If
Hmm.
you can't pay 30, bring 20. You can't do that, bring 15. As long as I know what's up, I don't mind it. Like I don't train for the money. It just come with the business. I gotta pay the bills,
Yeah,
but I love to train. So I try to tell kids that like don't worry about the price. Like just show up.
you got people charging 50, 60, 70, $80, 90,
And
up to
once
one
you
hundred
once I
dollars an
know you're
hour.
consistently showing up, then I can work with you.
Yeah, they gotta be dedicated. Don't just be out there
But if you
wasting
want
time.
to come one time to work out, right? So I used to pay him almost like $60 a session,
Mm,
and I was working on him at least 3 days a week. So if you imagine that for a month, I'm paying him a lot of money. But that's a
yeah,
legit trainer. So and then like I said, when you know though, when you good at something, you should get paid at it.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna lower your price just because this person don't think you should be paying that. What you won't pay, the next person will.
And everybody
And
want a
that's I think a
discount
lot of these
nowadays
kids
too.
don't realize that. Yeah, and then they'll go pay somebody else full price.
It don't make no
It can't
sense.
work. It got to work both ways.
What so like a week like a what do you have? Are you more like you got kids that just want to get in shape, get their endurance up, or you like body lifting?
Everything.
It all goes
So
depending on the kid.
yes, yeah. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, when I had a basketball group, we do strength training, and then we do agility, and then we do conditioning as well. So some days, like right now, it's warming up outside. So as it warms up, we'll transition from Planet Fitness to the reservoir. So start doing hills and stairs, or even here at you. So always, and then like guys who like I have my basketball guys, sometimes they'll act like it's like a football workout. Like, y'all gonna get outside, like yeah, you're gonna lift, you're gonna get shots up, but you need to run hills. Like Kevin Durant, LeBron, they run hills, they
You run
run
in the sand up the hill.
right. So like that same type of work, you got to get that in. And like I said, we don't want to just train like them. We want to train better than them. So you got to put the work in. And what you won't do, like I said, if you're not working, the next person is. And that's what I try to tell people all the time. Somebody else
So,
working just as hard as you, if not harder, and they
and
might
they
be less
doing it
talented.
and they doing it year round too, because New York behind in a lot of things.
Exactly.
What since you've been training, who would you say is the hardest working kid you had this far?
JP.
Is
Other
that the
than like
Miller from
he's
the JP from Chenango?
yeah. So other than like the core group like Dejor, DJ, JoJo, they know what I expect, like far as working out and playing around like that. But JP, like I've been training him for about 3.5, 4 years. When I first had him, he had a broken wrist.
Mm,
Skinny as I don't know what, and now like he's filling out. Like he's still a little skinny, but he's starting to fill out his muscles. Like he knows what to do. Like he's been to the point where if I text him and said, JP, I can't come to training today, but I want you to go work out, do all the lifting, the ladder drills, everything. He would know how to do it exactly the way I would do it with him.
that's what's up. I see his mom. His mom is a she's dedicated too. I be seeing all her posts and comments and everything.
Yeah, bro. Like he drives at least 30, 40 minutes to come work out with me. Like so he probably drives an hour from Chittenango to Nedro to lift with me, and then he drives from Nedro to the church, and then back home.
Wow. Speaking of what your dad still doing the Coker AAU?
I think he's trying to generate to like more like a younger group. But
To
right
build them
now
up.
he's helping with my brother with the paving business, and then like we dibble around and so much stuff. So it's like even though I do training, I also do sealing.
Hmm.
I seal driveways. So it's like it's just like trying to like to make money in all kind of ways for us. But like he's always coaching. If not, he's giving me tips on stuff that I can do. So right now, like me and him in the works because I want to open up my own gym, and like that's how serious I want to show people I am. So like he's kind of like putting everything behind me. So that's like
I
kind of like the
see
lane we're going in. Like he'll always be coaching, but he's more behind me now.
I see that. I just read that Onondaga got like a $425 million like a grant or something that they're about to do an indoor facility. He said over by
Yep.
Onondaga Parkway. They
Yep.
got 142 million. They said a sports complex is on the way by a $25 million sports complex near the shore of Onondaga Lake. They said multiple fields and some gyms in there. So that might be something on the way for these youngins.
Yeah, that's tough. It's
But still,
definitely tough.
man, all you need is a barn and two courts, boy. That's all you
And
need
I
is a
got the
barn
whole
and two
setup too,
courts. That's
because
all you need.
that's that's the thing too. Like even though I want to open up a gym, I don't want it to just feel like a gym. Like I want it to be, because I think the main problem, like you said, when we talk about the inner city, the main problem is after 2:45, what do these kids have to do?
In the
Nothing.
streets, man.
So if you don't
In the
got nothing to do,
streets.
you're gonna find something to do. Right. So when I eventually open up Fast Lane Performance Training Facility, I want it to be also not just training to come in and lift. I want you to be able to come in, get your homework done, get tutoring, to get some
Like a
snacks. You got
community center type atmosphere.
football field, a basketball court. Yep. I like because like I like with my major too. I learned how to do like athletic training and stuff like that too. So I want to get that in there. That way, you need to get taped up. You'll get taped up, just like
Do it
kind of like
all.
some of the facilities we see. We go on these higher up A tournaments.
32
That's what I
courts. I
want
think
because that's what we
one
need.
of
So like, I'm really like I'm trying to compete with everybody. I'm gonna knock the
that's what they
YMCA out. All of them.
that's
That's
what
what
they
I'm
need
coming
out there
after.
though. Imagine
'Cause
this
I don't want to be,
a
and
gym
I'm
where
thinking I'm not short term.
nah, yeah, forever. Cause you got the kids that are playing now, they end up coaches down the road. They know where to come to.
Right,
But
right. And
somebody
then like you
definitely
said,
needs
like Jay
that,
Jordan, they got
man.
little brothers. JoJo got little brothers.
I forgot you
It's on the
mentioned
way,
DJ.
bro. I'm
What
telling you,
up?
it just like I said, God, he's down in Florida.
Yeah, I know he done. I see he done turned into a monster too. They had a football season down there, or it's just basketball.
He getting ready for it. Now he getting ready for football now, but he's still
So
working out. So he working out down there with Big Z.
yeah, I seen it. He was live at one of his
He,
games on the book.
yep.
And
He
DJ
doing
work
good
hard.
too.
Any athlete, so he gonna keep him working. What you think he'll end up
And
choosing,
he got it
basketball or
easy too,
football?
cause like his dad is naturally big.
Is he?
Um, I don't know. That's tough because
That boy
it's
can
hard
go
to
for
say
either
which
one
one
of
he
them.
better in
No,
because
I know.
he, like you said, he go in both. Like he's not one of those athletes who 50% in basketball and 95% in football. Like he give you his all in both.
He 90
But
90
if I would
boy.
have to say, I feel like he plays a lot more basketball, but I don't know if I could carry him because like he said he can mess around and play both. But he
He
plays
probably
basketball year round,
he probably about what, like 6'2" now, probably 6'1", 6'2".
somewhere around that. Yeah,
He
and yeah, he's naturally big, based just from his dad.
yeah, he's strong. He Aki. I noticed that when I first saw that boy play. What
Yes, sir.
Dejor about to choose a school anytime soon?
Yeah, he should probably closer to the summer. Right now, he only been back in the gym for about a month. He had a growing injury, but now he's slowly working back in, and he should be definitely. We've been narrowing out options and stuff like that, but just making sure he's conditioned and he's ready to go. That way, he's not just taking to
Yeah.
school when he ain't put up a shot in months.
What you said he pulled his groin? Or what did he do? I know he was hurt. What did he do? I didn't
Yeah,
even
he hurt
ask
it
you. I forgot all
bad.
about it. Damn. He tore it?
So like when he was at school, almost did. He didn't have to get any surgery. He just did PT, and now
Mm.
he's fine. He's back out playing and stuff. But he hurt it during practice, and then he went back to practice to prove that he wasn't like baby in an injury,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
hurt it
yeah.
worse.
Made it worse. Who so besides him, JoJo, who you still mess with anybody from the sectional championship team? You still talk to any of them?
Um, like Damar, definitely do check up on him from time to time, see how he's doing. But other than that, not really, because like a lot of them spread out, so I
Yeah,
don't
all
like I
over.
only see who's kind of around me.
I ain't seen
And then
Daymar
like
in a minute
they
either. I
like
used to check.
I just got back in the gym with Deja because he was in Kansas for all this time, so he just got
Yeah, yeah.
back. So like
I
JoJo and
remember.
them, I'm around them almost every year, all day, every day. So I
People
see
forget he
them
tore his
almost every
AC.
week. So like,
What he
go
tore
ahead.
his ACL 2 years. He tore his ACL 2 years ago. JoJo
Last year,
last year it was
yep, because he missed the whole basketball season.
basketball season. Yeah, I remember. What that
Mm-hmm.
big boy doing that they had number 3? I forgot his name.
Dwayne,
Yeah, he ain't go play basketball or football.
mm-mm.
Nah.
One of them too, but just had like a lot of like the grades and stuff like that. Like that's the thing too. Like you wish you could like pull certain kids, but sometimes it's only so much you can do.
Yeah, I already
So,
know.
but he was one of those kids that could have made it, but it just grades. And then from there, like once they graduate and they go off, they go off. And some of them you see, some of them you don't. Like I probably haven't seen them in months.
He
And then
was an athlete too.
yeah, like you said, he played both sports. But that'd be the thing. Like if they're not pushed and they don't have anybody behind them, like that guidance and stuff, it's kind of easy to fall off.
That's when the streets come in all the time. That's when the streets come in.
Yep.
What So were you I know a gym is in the future. What else you got in the future plan?
I definitely want to get some help eventually. Like 'cause right now it's just me. but I gotta try to manage things how I can. But eventually, definitely want to like recruit other trainers and just grow because I want, like I said, I want to do everything the right way, and I want these kids to know that they got help. That's the main thing that I didn't have growing up. Was like, yeah, I had both my parents and like that. Like I could go to camps and stuff like that, but I never really had nobody to train me and work with me like how I'm working with these kids. Like I trained 7 days a week. I didn't have that. I used to go train myself when I played at Corcoran.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they letting kids know that they got those resources. Like even as far as like not working on like tutoring, like I need to help my SATs. Like to have something like that, that's something that I'm trying to get like gear more towards. So like even though they've got the training going on, I definitely want to get like more because my dad he started mentorship when I was young, and I went to Danforth Middle School, so that's a tough school. So he pulled a lot of kids out of there that was going left and brought them in, and that's how we create our AU program from there, and it was based on mentorship. So when I got older, I mean I want to do that same because he had JoJo in them from second grade on, and that's when I
Yeah,
fell in love with all of this. Soon as they came around, it was like, man, this is what I want to do.
I think COVID caused grades to really take a hit, man. I talked to kids,
Yeah,
their computers
COVID, and then
wasn't
the fact that
the kids' computers weren't working. They ain't
right,
have a
so
ride to the
that,
school to get the school
and then you
fixed.
combine, then you got to combine parents. So that a lot of times, like some parents will be on them, get their work done. Other parents, like I don't know how everybody do it, but like I know, as far as like us in our program, my dad would go to classes. Like when JoJo and them were playing AU, they would have bring in progress reports. When it's Black
Yeah,
History Month, they got to write a letter, like stuff that we need to do as like older people around them because they look up to us. They look at what we do, and then when they go home, they go. It's like going home to another world. And like a lot
I
of these
think that.
kids, we don't know what they go through at home because
Yeah,
they
you ain't got no idea.
be smiling around their team. I want to be like an outlet for that too. Like kids, like because I'm a person too. Like I hold a lot of stuff in. If I don't feel comfortable talking about it, I'm gonna just keep it to myself. And like if we have somebody to talk to
Yeah,
before they make a stupid decision, it's like that's something that we all need to have.
yeah, because most of them go home. They got their little brothers and sisters that they gotta watch after. They ain't got a ride to the crib. Got to bring them home after practice. So I know they go through a lot. But I think the city schools should have more like programs coming from the outside in, like what Ed Mitchell got. Where
Yeah.
he at Danforth? Is that where he at?
Yep.
Where he be at? Like stuff like that. That
Yep.
the kids gonna connect to the people that are outside with the ears right to the street. So if they get in trouble, they gonna hear about it. I think that all the city schools should have like
Yeah.
a mentorship program
Yeah.
like
And
that.
shout out to
I mean,
Ed
I know.
too. Definitely.
Yeah, I've been doing.
Yep.
I'd do a whole lot, boy. But I
Yeah. He
think
was
this. I think
around.
the
Big Bro
schools
was
need
around when
that.
I was in high school.
Yeah,
Yeah, they do
I
because
think Ed got a
those
year
kids
on.
look up to him.
Yeah, but he got a good thing going with the Team Angel stuff. But if you can get like a program like that in every
Yep.
school, just to stay on top of the kids, especially the athletes, a lot of kids will go farther than they think they can go.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they got Hillside,
Yep.
but Hillside is kind of like
Like
a
I said,
work
they just need
scholarship
that
program.
support.
Yeah, that's all they need in a
Right.
push.
Because
Make sure they asses going to class too. That's another
if
thing.
they get that, right, they get that, it's over with. Because then the hard stuff is out of the way. The easy stuff is
Yes.
playing sports, doing what they naturally can do.
Yup.
And then I think too, another thing that need to change too with city schools is like how kids can get a trade. Because sometimes you won't get a degree, it just won't happen,
Hmm.
or you get a
Yeah.
degree and won't work in the field that you graduated from.
When I was
So
at
I
Nottingham,
think
that's the
that
thing
the
I'd
kids
always
can have that,
ask.
like being a mechanic.
Yup. They got and then they got all them programs at Bosie's too. Bosie's got all those programs. I be telling kids like
And I think
there's been so many
we got to make sure kids don't feel bad for that.
yeah, nah,
Don't
go
make them
right
feel
to
bad
that.
for going to something like Bosie's. Like
Hell
that's an
nah.
option. Like how we laugh at people. Not necessarily saying we, but how people get laughed at for going to get a GED.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Like stuff like that
Some
needs to be more pushed because at least they got something to show for it.
yeah, some kids just can't handle a whole day of school, which is fine, which is kind of like Bosie's is there for. You go take them the four common or your four major classes and then afternoon or the morning you go do the trade. And the thing now is that everyone needs
Yeah,
athletic trainers. Like we had a football game canceled last week because we couldn't find a trainer to. It was actually against Corcoran. Nottingham and Corcoran JV football got canceled because there wasn't no trainer around. And the school's around for
Yeah.
that. You got Cortland around for that. Ithaca's around for that. And you always
That's the
gonna
thing
have a
too. I never
job
understood
too.
that because when I was in high school, we we never had the same trainer like that. Like you don't see the same person. Like you would send people from
Mm-hmm.
SOS, but it's always a different. Or they just come to games. Like it's like they need to get used to like how the next level be too. So it's like in college, your trainers are at the practice every day.
Every day.
They're after practice. In high school, you only see them at games. That don't help a kid
Yeah.
to see them at a game. Like what if they got a nagging injury all week? Coach can't tend to them because he got a whole team to coach.
Yeah, they got to figure that out, man. Because in Auburn, we had the same trainer from my freshman year to my senior year, and she's
See, I didn't
the
have.
athletic. She's actually at OCC now. I seen her last year there. But yeah, you need somebody. You need somebody to practice
I
every
couldn't
day
even
to
tell you
ice them
the
kids.
names of the trainers I had.
I never see. I didn't know that till I started at my first year at ITC. I seen there was somebody new from SOS all the time. I said, "Y'all ain't got the same trainer every day." And then kids want to ice their ankle. They ain't got
Yeah,
no. They got to go do it on themselves or do some stretches. That's what training's supposed to be there for. And I know they got a contract with SOS too. So
yeah.
ain't the reason why somebody can't be there every day. Damn sure, at
We
least
need to get more. So it's like
3 times out of week.
right. So like when I was talking to DJ for his school in Florida, he can lift during his class schedule. We could have the same thing. Like these kids, because kids who will go out this senior year, they go out of school at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, they got that
You could do something during your
afternoon
free
off.
block. Because let's be real, right? So most kids, like even let's say Hillside, like a kid will go there, they ain't gonna really do their homework. Go there, you chill, relax, get back. They could go what they gotta do, go get a quick lift in, or go watch film with coach. Stuff that you will get used to doing as you get older, especially if you're going to the next level. We need stuff like more. That way they give them during the free period. Instead of them walking around the hallways, they're in the weight room or getting shots up. The bell ring, they go into the next class or going to practice.
Because when
So
you get
you
to
can control
college,
the control.
you got to work out in the morning, afternoon, and then film session, and then classes in between. So it's might as well something they should get used to if they want to play at
That's
the
the one,
next
and that was
level.
the one thing I was not ready for. I was not
Them
ready
all
for that.
days.
Waking up at 5 in the morning for a meeting at 5:40. Yeah,
I remember
bro. I
them
didn't like it
days.
was crazy because like I wouldn't have a class till 1 o'clock. But you gotta practice, a lift, class, a lift, film, meetings. Like so in the summertime for football, we would get on campus at 7. We would get let go around 11 o'clock at night,
Shit is real, boy. That's a
and
14-hour
you do
day,
that for 2
16
weeks
hour
straight for
day.
everybody on campus.
Yep.
Right. And then until they took double sessions out and made it illegal, I had to do that my whole freshman year.
Yeah. I don't know what they did that for. Everybody need that. Double sessions was something to look forward to. And you knew the summer was coming to an end when double sessions was coming around. Double sessions and the fair.
Double
You
session.
knew that summer. Double sessions and the fair. You knew that summer was over.
Separated the boys from the men.
Yeah.
That right
But
there was tough. 2 practices.
we was there from 9. It was, I think, what Auburn did. We was there from like 11 to 7. I think it was 10:30 to 7. And I did it for 4 years. I graduated in 2007, so I did it from '03 to '07.
Mm,
That make the kids
tough.
stronger too. I don't know why they took that away. Because I mean, we couldn't be out there. I mean, a couple practices was 99, 100 degrees, but when that heat index got so high, they sent you inside. So it wasn't nothing wrong with double sessions.
Right, and that's the thing too. And then I go back to the trainers because, like in college, you got about 8. You got 8 students plus the head trainers passing out
Yeah,
waters, making sure you're good. And then they show you, like, how kids will pour water on their neck. They stopping you from doing that. You mess around and pass out.
it's
So
just
like stuff
different. They
like that
changed
we
everything.
need to have. Yeah, it needs like we need a
I
lot of
really don't.
changes.
That trainer stuff confused me though because it was last. When the freak we supposed to play last? It might have been last Wednesday. We was gonna play at Corcoran. And they like literally they couldn't. They were calling Corcoran called the trainers. Hicks at Nottingham was calling trainers, and there was just none available. And it was a Wednesday. I'm like, where everybody? What they doing? You
Yeah,
get paid for doing the game,
right.
but having a I mean, and then having a trainer every day that is gonna the same trainer every day is gonna know the kids and know their body too, which will help a lot too.
Right.
It's just something they make me understand, especially with football season. If a kid has an injury, they're gonna know what's wrong with them. They're gonna know what to diagnose. Which when you see somebody new every day, it's gonna be a
And
different
then,
diagnosis every day.
right, and with the trainers too, like just imagine like if we had trainers in high schools, like kids like far as the injury, the timetable, like someone like JoJo, like rehabbing his knee, he might have had a quicker recovery instead of having to
Just from
go
doing
to do PT. You getting treatment right during the school hours.
just doing exercises at school and stretching at school and getting on some little machines at school too will help a lot. With a damn sure
Yep.
with an ACL injury.
Yeah.
Um, so you got the you made a Facebook page for Fast Lane too, right? And then they can just hit you up on your personal page.
Yep. So I got both too. So like I said, I try to send people like the I try to tag it in everything I do. That way, like can like build up the audience for
It
it.
comes up.
But it and that way,
It
like
comes
I
up.
got like you can book a session on there as well, and I'll confirm it. So I try to do that
Okay.
as well.
Oh, I like that. You should. I got your logo in the corner up there, so they know what it is.
Yeah, that's tough. Appreciate it. Definitely.
What else, man? What else? What else you think is What else you think is gonna make the culture change around here, man? Is it the parents or the kids? Because after so long, you can't blame the parents.
Right. I think it's both. So I think if parents know more, so like if a parent know like my kids should be working out at least 3-4 times a week. They should be, even if they're not gonna be training, like they should be doing this. Like they should be going here. They should be eating this, drinking that. Like just watching it, like even like watching their bodies, like they should be eating this, like shouldn't be drinking a soda or something, or even sometimes Gatorade. Like make sure they don't have too much sugar. Like make sure like they're eating, they're taking bananas, getting their potassium, and like they cramp and they know how to treat a cramp. Like they know how to stretch. Like you'll meet so many kids that don't know how to stretch properly.
They
And like,
just
oh,
used
I
to
caught a Charlie horse. Why do you
just
think you
used
caught?
to hopping out the car and getting to the ball. That's what they used to doing.
Yeah, so I think parents too, and I think kids, and I think too, like it just communication as a whole. So if it's communicated from the trainer to the parent, because sometimes you tell the kid like, hey, tell your mom you need to get this, go get you a foam roller to stretch out with.
They ain't
They'll
gonna tell
probably
them.
forget and not tell them.
Yeah,
So just the communication part, and I just think like if everybody comes together, because right now I feel like the problem like growing up was you have some people that could be like trainers or coaches, but everybody would bump heads. Like if this person not on the same level as that person, like it's a problem. I think now it's like it's so many trainers. Like you got myself, Tay does training. You got Gil, you got Billy. Like Gil and Billy took me to California when I was in ninth grade. So it's
I don't
like
know how. I don't.
people,
What's up with Billy? Billy must not want to coach. He don't want to coach, do he? Because ain't no reason why he ain't got no job around here.
he should,
Ain't no
but
reason why Billy ain't got no job.
the main thing
I
that
know he
he's
want
doing
to.
is he's big with getting these kids recruited.
Yeah, yeah. I found him.
So
I think he finally. He just recently made an Instagram page because he ain't had one before, did he?
nope.
He
So
just got
like
connections.
yep, excuse me. So like even with Dejur, so he was so I like I said I did his recruiting, but I shouldn't have done his recruiting. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, that's not my job. But beyond that, Bill, I hit him up because Bill got connections beyond that. So what he does is even with Quincy Ballard, he's at Florida State. Billy helped him get to the prep school in Gale too and get on from there. But like a lot of these coaches, they just coach these kids and then once they graduate, all right, next kid. It's not like I don't like I'll talk to like obviously fish stuff like that. But other than that, like you don't really have those connections with coaches like after you graduate. It's like you're onto the real life now. Like these kids need to have that same that touching base to coaches. So like Billy those kids, they get kids recruited. So that's why like a lot of kids are going to prep. Pretty soon we're not gonna have nobody. It's not gonna be competitive in the inner city. Kids
yeah.
gonna start going to prep route. Why? Because they're
They
seeing all
leaving.
the other kids go, and a lot of kids are having success from it. Think about like even look at like somebody like JJ. Look at he left Bville. You would never hear them talked about again. Really, they don't even look. They would like sometimes like and not even the back of school or talk down. And it shouldn't
Uh,
be like you should have if one guy go, you should have the next kid ready and go in line. Should just be good. Should be good enough to be starters on other teams.
yeah, that's the thing. JJ
And
brought them.
it
I
should be
mean,
like that. Like
JJ brought them to a sectional championship game, so they should remember him.
so it's just like having that. Because I think that's the biggest thing we need. Like we need more. Kids could get recruited easily, but they need to know
Yeah,
how. Like
especially
these kids don't know how to cut up film.
especially around here.
Don't even know how to watch film. Right. You need
I
to
think
know.
that
Like you need to know how to watch film.
yeah, shout out to Jake Pritchard too, because he's trying to expand his business and he's out here all the time. But he told me that people be complaining about the little $25 they be charging for the little mixtape. I'm like, what y'all?
Yeah.
And bigger cities they charge $100. That's $100 off the rip.
Right. He could imagine if he charged by the hour.
Yeah, it'll be even more.
So like
A
even
little man running around.
it's like that. People will complain about anything, but it's like even like Jake. Like Jake is doing that while he's still getting his undergrad and stuff. He doesn't have to do
Still,
that. I
he
didn't
do
have to
that
do
for
what I did.
y'all do that for the love of the
And
game.
he was one of the first people I did a video with, but they made us take it down because we had kids from other schools inside of Corcoran.
Mm,
So my first training video was with Jake.
that sound like how that bull crap started, then, huh?
Yeah.
At Corcoran.
It's like kids. You see all kids. I was watching a video like you had like City Rocks and stuff practicing at like Ludden, and then that's Jake doing a video there. Like it's like stuff like that is not a problem, but you go do something otherwhere at a city school. You got kids from other school. They just want to get shots up, and it's a
So
problem.
let's talk about the coaches then. Do you agree that the teachers got the first dibs on the coaching jobs at the schools?
That joint got to change. It's not even a coaching process. Like it's not even not a hiring process at all.
It's just, and then I
like,
guess
this
the contracts like a New York State teaching contract. I guess it says it in there that gym teachers got first dibs for coaching sports no matter what. So where I'm at, Auburn's got a coach, right? Auburn's got a coach, that baseball coach. He lives in Rochester. Coming to Auburn, doesn't do summer camps or doesn't do nothing. But because he's a teacher, he's got the varsity baseball team, and he's from Rochester. He moved to Rochester, New York. Won't do no summer camps. Won't do nothing. You got people in Auburn that done went to the league for MLB, and they're just waiting for that job, but they ain't get rid of him yet because he's a teacher at
stuff
the
like
district.
that is weird.
I can't stand it, man. And then you got coach. You got coach. I mean, I can see.
Because so even if you look at city school, right?
That's what I mean. Like I like the like if you're going back to your alma mater and the coach is a good thing, but if you ain't got no resume, you ain't no need to say just for you to have a job because that's your alma mater.
Bro, when I was at Corcoran, and like even when I was playing, like we were terrible. I'm not saying that like just to say like, well, you sucked because like this person didn't play. Like we were terrible. Like we're not competitive. We used to get beat by 30 to Henniger. We used to lose those round ball tournaments where you get killed. And it's like you know how college, if you don't do good after an X amount of time, you gone.
Yeah, you got 3 years and you out.
Because they tenured, they've been there 20 years. They could not win a game. Like Corcoran didn't win a championship for 20 years. But before Long was there, they had another coach. So if you add all them years, that's years of not winning, not really progressing in the playoffs, not bringing any championships. 2 decades ago before they won a championship, before Jordan left. That's a long time to not win a championship. They're not even being competitive. They were losing first round, second round.
When I played, yeah, because I mean, when I played, it was Henniger. Henniger ran everything. Henniger used to run us out the gym at Auburn too, but that's when I had Big Ben Corona, Mike Johnson, Moose, and then yeah, Corcoran. I think I might have beat Corcoran one year. I think my sophomore year we beat Corcoran. That was like 05 though. But who was that? Who was the basketball? Was it Schmidt that was the basketball coach at Corcoran before Long?
So I think his son is the varsity Fowler coach, and you think he's
Fowler?
the JV coach.
But Schmidt was at Corcoran, right?
Yep.
Okay. Remember.
I think he was the football coach too.
Yeah, I do ring bells, but like somebody like said.
Yep.
Like Said is the man. I think Said should be back at Corcoran one day.
Said did a lot for us, especially like kids. Like we had a kid that didn't go to school at all. Said would like personally go pick him up.
That's what you need, man.
Like, hey,
that's what you need.
Like you going to class today? Like from he's one of my good friends. He ran like a 4.4 in high school.
Damn.
Like, he wasn't in school. said would go get him, make him go to schools. That way, he could be around him, he could play and stuff like that. But if he didn't have that, he would be at home playing the game. But you
That's what you
need stuff
need,
like
though.
that.
Yeah, that's what you need. Plus, said them played at the highest level, and he got
And that's
records at Corcoran.
and that's what like you had something to look up to. So like for me, that was motivating when I was in high school. Like seeing pictures on the wall in the weight room, like that made me want to get to where they were at.
Is it something that you can look for that you know that you can go
Not just
do?
looking at. I think a lot of kids, right? And I think a lot of kids that do that now. Like I always tell the kids I train, like even if you got a favorite player in the league or in college, like don't just look at him as a fan. Like look at him as somebody that you might be playing against one day. Like I don't become rivals. And
Absolutely,
that's how you
every
gotta
day.
approach it. You can't just be like, oh, like starstruck.
Mm-mm.
Because they, like I said, the
Someone
same
always gonna be
kids,
out
like
there working harder than you.
they wake up and do the same thing you do, right? And then, like you said, you're gonna find
But I think
somebody who's
that,
less talented. All it takes is hard work.
and I think that, it's just that New York in general is just behind in sports because we got bad weather. Well, I mean, yeah, obviously upstate we got bad weather 8 months out of the 12 months for the year, and you got a kid from
Yeah,
North Carolina down. They can be outside in 7-on-7 flag football leagues all year round, and you see how big them kids is, man. And then a lot of people up here don't really know that there's paperwork to reclassify. If you want your kid to get that extra
right.
year and they're 18, I think that's just something that's got to come up here. Because if you, I mean, if you look, even if you look at Rochester, Rochester got some ballers, man. Rochester got some hoopers,
Yeah,
and they young, and they stick together, and they young coming up because you got a lot of programs out there that can get gyms. There's a lot of private gyms out there, but I mean, upstate, and then you obviously upstate got the athletes too. I'm glad to see.
it just seemed
I'm
like
glad to see Samir. I'm glad to see Samir going to the Qs too, so he can display some talent, some local talent.
yeah,
Even if he
he
don't, I mean,
deserved to play too.
yeah, even if he don't come in and start and get crazy minutes right away. But he work hard though. He ain't just gonna give up, so he gonna make sure that he play.
And that's another thing too. Right, that's another thing too. Like I said, people always talk about like, oh, why don't Syracuse recruit in their backyard? Like, it's a lot that factors into it. And like I said, you look at the football team for Cuse, they recruit a lot of outside of, but they're not bringing in nothing higher than maybe a 3 star at highest at that.
Yeah, three
Like look at
star.
look at somebody like Stevie. Like you biting your tongue. Like man, I missed out on that. They got so many kids that we could just double back on and like, hey, like this kid could have had a chance. Like even one like we were doing like they had those Bayheim invite camps. A lot of kids that
Yep,
could like Deja never got
them
invited to that.
overnight. The overnight what was that? The overnight 5 day camps. It was.
Yeah, or those elite camps they would have.
Yep.
Like stuff like that. Like we needed like they need to recruit those more because like I said, you never know what a kid has and then just get out to games more. So I think that's like I said, when coaches lead too, like even like Mike Hopkins, like kids like coaches that don't mind coming in inner city and,
I hope he on his
and
way
spending
back
some
in 2 years.
time not just a program. When they see that
I
you
think
actually
that.
care, like what different with me too. Like when I went to my visit to Ithaca, the coach came to my school and he didn't ask me if I want to come on a visit. He said, "You're coming on an overnight visit this day. I'll see you then." I'm like, "Oh, word! Like, okay, cool. Let me tell my dad." So like you
Mhm.
know when a coach wants you, like you feel wanted, and I feel like
You're gonna
every
hear
kid
from
should be able
him.
to go through that process. Like,
You're gonna hear from him throughout the week too. I remember the recruitment phases. If coaches want you, they'll blow your phone up and check on you every
yeah,
couple of days.
and I took it too.
But to be
And I
honest,
was
I
telling
think
him, like,
if
you can make
if
it from
if
anywhere. Like I played like Ali Marpet.
yep,
He just won a
somebody
championship with
comment.
Tom Brady. Played against Matt Hobart.
Yep, he in the league
Somebody
too.
commented, he said, "Yeah, he
Yeah,
just got and
they're
he
just
went
talking about kids in
undrafted."
Rochester. Like a kid at somebody commented that a kid at Troy could play fullback at SU, but he's going to UMass. And then Rochester East has a kid going to Oregon. But everybody knows that Seventh McGee kid. He done went to California and back twice, I think. But I
That's what
think
we
if
got.
if
We
if,
got to
if
stop letting these close kids slip.
yeah, just go. But I think if
That's just
Stevie would have went
bad.
to SU, if Stevie would have went to SU, I don't he wouldn't have had the career that he had at Indiana. I mean, I just don't think in
Right.
my
That's the thing too.
personal
Like you got
opinion.
to be able to. You got to be able to showcase. Like you can't go somewhere. Like say you go to Houston, you get held back. So like I see what you're
Hmm.
saying with like that. And that's another thing that what like I said with coaching. But that's where like you said high school is a little political, but college is all politics and
Yeah,
winning.
and money
So
when you
it's
go to the
like
big schools.
if you know about it, you know about it. But it's hard. Like you said, even somebody like D Gore, look at his route.
He's still grinding too. He done grinded his way.
Go to all the yeah. You go to all those JUCOs, go to Bama. People like, why you ain't playing? You still working hard. You transfer, you get to play. And then I tell
Shit.
kids now here, like somebody like Kwani Rowland, who went to somewhere like Mohawk. You go from Mohawk to Lemoyne. You go from Lemoyne, now you playing in Puerto Rico.
Overseas.
And what I respect about Kwani is he takes his time out to come back and work with these kids. So like he doesn't have to come to my workout sessions. He
Yeah.
come here and he'll stop the kids, like show them what they're doing wrong. Like, and that's the thing they need to hear because they'll see somebody like him, like, man, he playing overseas, like he playing pro, and he come back here and he's showing them like, hey, you need this to the next level. This is how you show these next level moves, stuff that you need to be working on. Like, we're not gonna come in here and scrimmage. We're gonna come here and work on game moves, game shots, stuff like that. Kids need
Oh,
to see because they get used to doing that.
I don't know Kwani like that, but Kwani, he seemed like he humble as hell too. He ain't cocky with his shit at all. Even he'll give you 40 and
Definitely,
still just quiet. Man, he humble as
that's
ever.
my dog. Yes,
Yeah, someone
sir.
just comment or someone commented out Mike Hart, the running back, or he said Mike Hart as a running back coach at Indiana played a big part in that. Yeah, but Mike Hart was at SU, right? Stevie senior year,
I believe so.
or did he? Stevie committed. He committed to Rutgers at first, right? Is that where Mike Hart was?
Yeah, yeah.
And
He
then
come into the records and then switch.
but Mike Hart was at SU before that. I remember. But I think Stevie got hurt. And Stevie got hurt his senior
That's
year
another
too.
one.
He killed his junior year, I think.
Yep, hurt ankle.
Was Stevie get hurt? Yeah. But you see how big he is, man. And he working. I got my Snapchat. He working.
Mm-hmm.
That boy is a
Like I said, you
brawler.
get what you put in.
Yeah, he don't play
You
no
get what you
games.
put in. I tell people that all the time. You ain't nothing is just gonna come to you. You got to really put that work in. You got to want it. Like you got to want it bad as the next person. Like training is my life. If you want to make it to the league, like even if you don't make it, you got to know that you got to sacrifice a lot. Like ain't no chilling all this time. Go
Nah,
hang
you
out
gotta
with this
work
person and this person. Literally, like you catch me when you catch me.
2 or 3 times a day. You
Cause
gotta work
it's
out
literally, and
if you're
if
trying to
it's
get to
that,
that
sometimes
level.
you got to work out more.
I think that's the thing.
And you
Is
still
they said,
and like I said, you can do all that and still not make it.
yeah, this is who you getting in front of and who watching you play. But
And that's what I think too. Like we need to do a better job of that as a whole, like as a city too. Like just getting these kids more exposure. Like because like even like City Rock, that's a great program, but it's not a Syracuse based program. We have something that was just us, that's ours, that we can claim. We get
they
national
just joined.
exposure.
Yeah, he just combined with Syracuse Select
Select,
and Putney and them.
yeah,
We've been practicing there. Well, we had tryouts there and been practicing there. But I'm trying to think, like a lot of kids. I mean, there's a few. Bruce is on 15 EYBL. Jaden from Liverpool is on 15 EYBL. And then JJ comes home, but there's not a lot of kids that. I mean, there's a few kids that came out, but there wasn't a lot of kids could have came out and tried out.
yeah.
They say it's all like who you know and who what, but them coaches be out recruiting all year round for the kids that they want, especially for EYBL, because that's a whole nother ball game. What a lot of kids don't
Right.
understand, man. You can go to these local AAU tournaments, but when you go to the Adidas circuit, Under Armour circuit, even hoop group gets kid scholarships too. Hoop group is on the rise too.
Yeah.
When you go to
Billy, they're about to go there next.
yeah, but when you go to EYBL tournament and you got Patrick Ewan, Shaka Smart, and Bayheim and Coach K sitting there, you know shit is the real deal, man. And that game is so fast paced that like an average kid wouldn't be able to make it up and down the court 5 times in a row for how fast they run. Ain't no zone in EYBL. You got to play man.
Right.
Everything is man. I just think that's another thing that kids don't
And you get
understand.
exposed.
Yeah, everyone want to go D1, D2, and then they give up on the small schools, and then now they just back looking like they should have took that first offer.
That's why I tell
'Cause
people all the time, like not even
everybody ain't built to go
not even
D1.
just because I went to D3, bro. Right. Not tell them that not even because like I went D3, but it's like if you go D1 and you don't play for a whole year.
Mm-mm.
You
Gotta
go
sit that year
D3,
out.
you don't play varsity, you play JV. You learn the system, you can compete for a varsity spot.
We still got 50
So
kids
like,
on
you
the
get
J,
to
50,
play.
60 kids on the JV team too.
Right. And then you look at somewhere like Mount Union. I don't know if you heard of that school. That's like a D1, D3 school.
Yeah, you
They
already know. I know.
they beat schools bad, like putting up 80 points a game on schools. And it's like you said, they recruit hard. Like Pierre Garcon went there, played in the NFL
Yep.
for Redskins. Like you could make it from anywhere. It's just about the work. And the only thing that separates the D3 and D1 is a scholarship. D3 gives
And money.
academic scholarships. Yeah. So a lot of these D3s can be D1 schools or D2. Like Ithaca was like, I think tuition was like 60,000.
Yeah, I think it was a private school. You got to pay to go there. That's a lot of money. But I think like even like a lot of kids when OCC's been like the truth the last few years. A lot of kids like from around here that would go
Mm-hmm.
there. They went like what happened to Tyler? Where Tyler? You heard anything from Tyler Sullivan? That was at Liverpool. That went to OCC. Did he go anywhere after?
Nah. I think I want to say Lemoyne, something like that. Or he was at I forget what school he was just at. I forget.
He came up the other
But I
day. I
know he
said, "Damn,
transferred.
I ain't heard nothing from him." But he was a killer at Liverpool and OCC. I gotta
Yeah.
ask Tay. Matter of fact, I'm gonna ask Tay when I holler at Tay, see where he went. But like, who else? Who else is like? Ain't nothing wrong with going the JUCO route, man. I tell
Not
kids to,
like,
I tell kids to watch that Last Chance U. I tell every kid I see now to watch that Last Chance U basketball right now.
and like you said, real ones will understand the fact that if you get a chance to go play at a low school, you gotta. That's what you gotta do. Like even somebody like I said, like I use him all the time as an example. Like Dejor, like good as he was, like all-time leading scorer in school history, got all these accolades. He didn't have 10 scholarship offers,
Mm-hmm.
but that's a topic for another day. But he had to go with what he had to go with.
Yeah, and go grind that out. Oh, Coach Duds just said that. Tyler at Brockport,
Brockport, yep, and
Sweden
that's another
Brockport.
good program.
Yeah, who somebody just came from killing up there. Was it Riley? Was it Riley Stroman?
Yep, and he
You
played in our
you
AU
play
team
with
growing up.
yeah. I played with his older brother Cooper. He was at Faith. Then with the
Oh,
Faith Harris, him and Aaron Hall.
okay,
Them
yep.
was my days. Them was my two AAU teammates right there at Central Western.
You old, bro.
I'm about to be 33 on April 23rd. I'll be 33. But back then, man, you don't understand, man. I'm trying to tell you, even like I played against kids that was like real ballers. Like even back then, it
Yep.
was harder. Now, back in my day, these kids wasn't scoring no 1,000 points. You gotta think I had Ben Corona from Henninger was 7 foot. He ain't scored 1,000 points. Mike Johnson, Moose, DeAndre Priester, I played. He scored 1,000. Wesley Johnson from Utica. The kids is like nowadays. It's every other week somebody scoring 1,000 points.
Yeah,
I said, damn, what they coming in doing? What's going on?
it's crazy.
Because I
Especially
think
too, like
who
go
before
ahead.
Dejour scored 1,000 points at Corcoran. It's been a long time, right?
Not my boy Legs, Marquise
Oh,
Gilbert.
okay. Leg scored 1,000. Okay, yep, you're right. But before that though, it was a long time. Probably
Yeah,
like '04. Somebody that like Eden played with. I can't remember. Was it like did Elton Fraser maybe? Did he score? Is he 1,000? Does he got 1,000? Robbie Marshall? Any of them scored 1,000?
L might have. I can't think of it off
I
the top of
can't.
my head
I
right
know that
now.
pitch. I know that banner right behind the backboard, but I can't think of who's on it. Like I know who's on Henniger with Chris Turner and Blotch
Yep.
and Gill and all them, but I can't remember who's on Corcoran. Who you I think Fowler. Fowler got any 1,000 point scores lately? I haven't had any either. I haven't seen nobody from Fowler.
Not that I could think of.
Even on the girls' side, you seen what the girls' side did for Corcoran this year? How they combined with ITC and Fowler?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's
They
all three schools combined, yo. For girls varsity.
now if they could do that for why they can't do that for boys?
I know. But what if you
Can you
think about
imagine
that
that?
though? If you have all them schools that are over there, I mean, I could see ITC should combine with Fowler just because of like academic wise. But you tell me that you can't find 12 girls on the south side of Cuse that go to Corcoran that can play basketball? Just girls just want to be lazy.
Sad because I know they combine lacrosse. I remember that all the time.
Yeah, it was Corcoran. It was I forgot what it was called, but the Syracuse team was ITC Corcoran.
I think it was like Syracuse West or something like that.
Yeah, Syracuse. It was ITC Corcoran and Fowler.
Yep. And they even did
Because
it for like soccer too.
because I remember I think last year Adonis was going to be the ITC girls varsity coach, but they never had a team because they didn't have enough girls come out. And then Fowler, I don't think I've ever heard of a Fowler girls basketball. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
I didn't know they had it. Even had one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like how you gonna get enough? I mean, I don't know what kids be doing nowadays, but Pick a basketball up. Get out them
Right.
streets.
Yeah.
Somebody said.
Tough.
Somebody said, "What you think about Jalen Hawkins from Utica? He went to the New York Rens. Tyler Bertram, Charles Pride. Those are
Justice
kids like
Chuckers is
those.
tough.
Yeah, but he knew he took the right route though. He probably gonna score a
Yeah.
thousand
He
at.
always been.
He gonna score 1,000 in college.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Jalen
He always
scored
been
a
one of them
thousand.
kids that keep his head down and work.
Yeah, I like Nas Johnson too, but Nas wanted to play. Nas with Nas Smith from out here. They had Central Connecticut. He went the football route, but he could have chose either one too.
Yep.
But yeah, he's a
I
football
played against
player.
him when I was at Ithaca.
What
That's my boy. He a hard worker.
Yeah. So behind who you think up next to go Division 1 besides JJ that's in high school right now? You think anybody is at that level yet? Just from experience that you already know how you got to work and get there.
That's tough. I
I would
think it's
say
possible,
I'm gonna say the one
but
that you got in
it's
the
just
gym can
like
go.
I definitely see like the group from like Amir, Bruce, and like the kids that's actually working. Say that again.
Yeah, I said
Say
the
that
one
again.
that you got in the gym, the one that you got in the gym with you right now. I feel has got the body to go Division 1 if he keeps working. And Bruce, I'm talking about Bruce.
Amir.
Yeah, Bruce and Amir.
Oh, Bruce. Yeah, yeah. Nah, definitely.
If they keep working, because they both in 10th grade and both what about 6'1",
Yeah,
6'2"?
and Bruce, that's slow mo right there. Yeah, and Amir just skinny, so he been in the weight room lately with us too. So just adding that muscle because everything else, like, and that's what a lot of these kids too. Like most of them, some of them, you don't gotta do too much with. You just gotta alter and tweak a few things. Like I don't
Mike
gotta
Red,
really teach him nothing.
because he's been around the game for
What you
so
say?
long. And Mike Red said
Yeah,
Andreo from Liverpool. But I think yeah, there's a lot of young kids coming up, man. Definitely Syracuse could have a damn national AAU team if you ask me, with all the kids that are around.
yeah. Even football
Uh,
too, like how they do the traveling thing too. We could definitely
Got an
have something set up
AAU
with that.
and AAU flag football team. People don't even know AAU football is around too down south.
And too that we don't take advantage of is playing multiple sports and not even just playing football, basketball, baseball, but
Run track.
football players running track. Like that should be like I know it runs into AAU, but the track coach will work with you. You know, like just having that background, learn how to run, how to stretch, how to jump, that all that stuff factors because when you go to the 40-yard dash or you're going to the NBA, they're gonna test you on that type of stuff.
Yeah, you always gonna get time. Somebody just comment. Oh yeah,
Or even with
Adam Dunn's gonna go Division 1 too. He's just skilled
does is tough.
and he's that boy like 6'9",
See,
six
and that's
ten.
people don't know. Yeah, and people don't know. So when they were in second, third grade, we had Duds, Dejor, JJ, JoJo, DJ, Jonathan. We had a couple kids from Cortland, but like just imagine we had all those kids on one team.
All together.
Adam, Dejor, all of them. They were all on the same team.
Speaking of
Like
him, he leaving.
they won at
He
least
going
two.
to
I think they won two national championships.
he going to prep school too. Now that I think about
Prep
it.
school.
Yeah. Well, his
Yep.
dad is the man too. You know his dad ain't playing no games with him.
Yes, sir. And like
But
you said,
yeah,
no, that's next step for Adam too. Just put on some muscle.
yeah.
Everything else,
And then
he's a sharpshooter.
you gonna see you gonna get that at prep school. That's basically all you got to do
Yeah,
is you got
and
them
that's like I
your
said.
four common core classes and you working out.
Exactly.
I'm trying to think of who else is up too. Corkin, CNS. Who else was good this year? Liverpool. I think Liverpool had like 2 or 3 seniors, so they coming right back too. Hopefully it's normal and sectionals and
Yeah,
states
that's
and
a
all that
nice
come
little
back
team
next
too.
year. I think he lost Coach. Yeah, Coach Lucci took them on a little ride too this year. I think he had a few
Word.
senior.
I
He
wish.
had a few. He had a few seniors this year though that's gonna lose. I think there might have been a bunch of them actually. He told me. But they got the big boy coming back,
And then, like I said, the
Trevor
coach like
Rowe.
that too. I love when you, I love when you get coaches like that who get the most out of your kids. Like
Yeah,
you
they
can look
play
at
for
his
him.
roster and like say like, right, like how many kids you think are actually like big time players. You don't have to have big time players to win. You just have to buy in. They got to
Yeah,
work hard, effort.
they
You
gotta
have
buy in every
to be
day.
willing to get dirty.
Somebody started having a Mozzie. Mozzie's in North
That's a
Carolina.
big thing too. Yeah, Mozzie killing.
Somebody, yeah, somebody just asked.
He
Modern and
down there
Jaden is
killing
almost. Modern and Jaden is almost eating. Mozzie gonna get a scholarship somewhere. He should get a scholarship.
easily. And then
Plus
like going
Jaden,
back to what we were talking about earlier with the inner city, I think a lot of the kids too was a problem with coaches too is a lot of these kids are willing to test the coach in the inner city
yeah, yeah,
versus CBA, CNS.
you see that all the time on the sidelines.
Like
A couple
even
of them don't
when
play
I
no
was at
games.
Corcoran, yeah, like when I used to go to the practices, the way they talk to those coaches, like telling them SMD and all this stuff, like I couldn't imagine trying to talk to my coach like that because I know like not even how my
Yeah.
coach would react, but how my dad would.
I seen a kid in
So
Auburn
it's
tell
just
him shut
like
the
you
fuck
said,
up,
like that's a bad thing.
shut the fuck up in a timeout, and walk back on the court. I was this close to having it on video, and I just had turned my camera off at OCC. Auburn was playing JD. He said, "Shut the fuck up, leave me alone," and walk back to the hut and walk back into the game.
Wouldn't have been
That's just
possible.
nah, man, not back in the day. Your dad, like
It's like
coaches,
I
like
said,
old school dad, like your coaches, your dad and them ain't play no games like that. Telling the coaches shut up or not listening to
he'd
them,
have hit you in front of your parents.
waving them off, let alone swearing at them.
Word.
I wouldn't even think about, doing it like that to a coach though. Even though a couple coaches, I would like to cuss out, but that's just home training.
Even right, even when I got to college, like it's just a certain respect level. No matter how mad they make you, like you just it's a cutoff. Like that ain't your friend you talking to
Yeah,
at the end of the day. And I feel that's a lot
nah,
of coaches
that's
who got to separate that friendship level with the players because they start to look at you like start calling you bro or start to treat you like you one of those. Then when it get out of hand, you got the whole team talking to you like that. Then what?
I think that's a major issue nowadays. Is discipline is a major issue,
Hmm.
especially on the basketball court. Because I mean, football coaches. I know my high school football coach. That's the number one thing that he really preaches discipline. And I can see Fisher do that too. Marty does it at Nottingham. I haven't caught Henniger yet, but I know just talking
Yeah,
for Sean Belair that they trying to turn that around too.
yeah,
But you got to
fishing and they
think,
play that.
yeah, there's a lot of discipline. But then you go to like you got CNS with 100 kids, and they ain't losing no games. Because if a kid act up, they already know it's next man up. But at school like that, with 100 kids on a football team,
Right.
how you feel about them? The big schools playing the city schools. You think the city schools should drop down to A and let
Again?
CNS? How you feel about the city schools being in Double A? You feel like they should drop down to A, Class A?
Nah. I don't know. I mean, it depends because when I was coming up, like you probably relate to this too. Like during your years, A was real competitive because my brother went to Nottingham, so that
Yeah,
that
yeah,
that
yeah.
section was real competitive. But now I feel like it's looked at a certain way. Double A is always looked at as big dogs. So you want to be playing
Yeah,
against the best of the best, and the kids that you know are going to schools like Stony Brook or SU, like and so on. Like you want to be playing in that type of class because you want to get seen by the people they get recruited by. So I
yeah.
don't think they should drop down, but if they have to, then cool.
I just say like
But
seeing us playing seeing us playing Nottingham or playing Corcoran, but you got 70 kids against
yeah,
33 kids at the most. And then back in my day, it was
right.
CBA was the monster back in my day. Like Bruce and LeVar and them. I was a sophomore playing against them, but those schools have a they have an advantage on the smaller schools just from attendance wise how it goes too.
Yeah,
But like even like with basketball a couple years ago when Cy Mir was at
yeah,
SAS in Class A, those few years Class A would have ran through Class Double A with JD, SAS, Bishop Grimes, and
yeah,
all them schools. They would have ran through Double A. I just think that every year they should look at school numbers because school numbers are dropping every year, especially for the Double A schools.
yeah. And even if they could like arrange the schedules in a certain way, like even if let's say they drop a school down to double A, I mean drop a school down to A, let them still play a couple double A games, like a little
Yeah,
cross
you should have
conference games, stuff like that.
you
That
should have your
because then
four
it brings the excitement out too.
like for football, how your four
Yep,
regular A games and the other three can be Double A schools.
exactly. Because then they get to play both, and
Yeah, you
you
can see
said then you
both.
could almost have it. You could kind of combine it in the playoffs to make it interesting.
Cause that's how basketball is. Like some schools, like
They have
Auburn
one
plays.
championship instead of 3 or 4.
Yeah, like Auburn plays Class A during regular season for basketball, but then when sections come around, they double A. Like, well, I ain't never get that.
Yeah.
Don't make no sense at all.
Mm-mm.
I think that was the same with when Utica Notre Dame played y'all. What was that, 3 years ago? I think they played a lot of
Yep.
A schools, and then sections came around. They ran through double A too.
Mm-hmm. And like I said
But
too, and that's like I said, there's a lot of stuff that like we got a lot of ideas that can help to change, but it's like, are the people that can make the changes, are they willing to listen? I think that's the
yeah,
next step too. Like even like you said, with like people like Lil Ed and stuff like that, like trainers, like we can have this, we can have all the ideas in the world, but are the changes are going to be listened to? Is going to be taken into effect? Because there's lots that can be done to benefit the kids and not just the
because a lot of
sports. Like
kids
that's
kids ain't trying to come out there losing either,
something
so
that
that's gonna save
they looked
kids
at.
from coming back out. If they win in games, more kids gonna come out for basketball and football for any sport actually.
Right.
Don't nobody want to be a part of no losing
Yeah.
team. But yeah, it's getting late, man. Go back to that gym, man. I appreciate catching. I'm glad I caught up with you finally.
No, I definitely
I'll
appreciate it.
try. Yeah, if I'm out there tomorrow, I'll text you, but I'll definitely be out there Friday because we got a game. We play at CNS Friday for JV for Nottingham. Early though, I think it's early on.
Okay.
So I'll message you. I gotta send you that
Yeah.
bread, so I'm gonna send you that bread on Cash App. I ain't forget.
Okay. Cool. Just let me know.
All right, I gotta get them in them shorts, and yeah, I appreciate you, man. Stay working, and then if they don't know Fast Lane, go at them and get at them.
Definitely.
Springtime
That's
coming
love.
up, so I know you're gonna be outside working.
Yep. We got a couple of camps coming up too, so definitely trying to get some free camps in for the kids.
All right, I'll share it. Just post it. I'll share it.
Definitely.
But all right, man, I'm gonna holler at you, fam.
All right, bro. Stay
All
easy.
right, boy. You too, bees.